What's up, everybody? You're watching The Back Cover, your source for game news, reviews, and more, brought to you by Velvet Games. In today's review, we're reviewing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Check out our website at the link in the description to see how we break down games at myvelvetgames.com/game reviews. You can also find all the other games we've reviewed, ranked for your visual pleasure. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to Velvet Games, and ring that bell so you're notified of when we drop new episodes. We appreciate your support. And now for the review. This is a brand new indie title that I've been dying to review. Get it? Indie? Like Indiana? You know. Boo! Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the first Indiana Jones game we've gotten in years. And as a near lifelong fan of the movies myself, I knew I wanted to review it the day it was announced. Brought to the world by Machine Games and Bethesda Softworks, it is a truly unique look into the world of Indiana Jones. And with the opening scene being a literal blow-for-blow remake of the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the stage is set for this game to be a truly one-of-a-kind experience. Set between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, this game captures the essence of Indiana Jones with excellent voice acting, a brilliant musical score that channels John Williams, and a storyline that truly harkens back to the original indie adventures from the 1980s. We won't give any spoilers for the game so that you'll have plenty of surprises when you get the chance to get the game or watch the game through a Let's Play. Did I just spoil that you should get it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Either way, make sure to watch to the end for our final score and recommendations. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle pulls no punches in the graphical department. It is a stunningly beautiful game that offers amazing visuals and top-of-the-line graphics. But this, unfortunately, is not without its drawbacks. If you have a mid-tier or lower computer, you cannot run this game. Like, at all. The recommendations for this game on Steam are 16 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 2060 Super, a solid-state drive to play off of, and a whopping 120 gigabytes of storage on said SSD. Mind you, these are the minimum requirements, and even with my upper-tier level computer, I spent a half hour in setup just trying to squeeze out 30 frames per second, and even then, I had a nearly second-and-a-half delay on inputs. This game is needy, and the developers of this title surely have not optimized the game yet. That said, the release on Xbox and PlayStation may run smoother. The developers could hypothetically patch the game in the coming days or weeks, and after all the effort, even with the minimal graphics settings enabled, the game was still very pretty, even though I would like to have made use of my 4070's ray tracing, but I'm not salty, you're salty. This game gets a 5 out of 10 in this category for beautiful graphics that make my computer cry. Maybe it'll get better soon. The narrative throwbacks and pacing for Indiana Jones and the Last Circle certainly pay homage to Indy's adventures of yesteryear, and the drop-in of subtle clues, Easter eggs, and flavor give this game exactly what it needs to be one of the greatest games story-wise that Bethesda has released in the last decade, if not longer. While I spent much longer on graphical woes than I would have liked, see Section 1, which reduced the amount of gameplay I was able to experience, I never felt bored with the game. And the mystery at hand makes it an intriguing play for sure. I am, especially when the game is better optimized, looking forward to playing through the remainder of the story, which has certainly captured my attention, if not my heart. This game gets an 8 out of 10 in this category for a truly interesting story that portrays Indy's adventures well and brings new life to an old franchise. So, aside from my complaints about engine and graphical optimization, I actually thought that the gameplay felt half decent. I heard from a lot of people who were very skeptical going into the game about the point of view being first person. And yes, I was one of those people. As much as I think the game could have benefited from a third-person perspective, the POV works decently well for what you're expected to do in the game, and it feels pretty fluid for melee combat as well. My biggest suggestion/gripe would have to be the lack of a lock-on mechanic, since more often than not, the bad guy ends up behind you during combat, or you end up shooting their cat or their neighbor instead of hitting them when you have a rifle aimed point blank at their chest and they move before you get the chance to pull the trigger. Hey, maybe that has something to do with the 1.5-second delay I had. Did I mention that? Yeah, I think I did. Well, now you've heard it again, so there. This game gets a 6 out of 10 in this category for a half-decent control layout that can be a bit clunky at times and definitely needs more optimization, but has good bones overall. Okay, I'll let you into my head for a moment. I love John Williams' work. I love Star Wars, Jaws, Harry Potter, E.T., and yes, especially Indiana Jones. So when I got a chance to enjoy his work, or technically a copy, recreation, imitation? Well, whatever it was phenomenal, and I'm so happy they managed to pull it off. Oh, and don't even get me started on the voice acting. The use of Troy Baker as Indiana Jones was brilliant, and I truly believe he was the only choice for that role. By the way, if that name sounds familiar, that's because Troy Baker has also voiced Joel in The Last of Us, Booker DeWitt in BioShock Infinite, and so many others. The man is a voice acting superstar who's been lending his voice to the industry for over 30 years now. And along with other phenomenal voice actors in this game, it really puts the sound design over the top. Oh, and there's 2 other things you gotta hear to understand. Got it? We're in agreement? Great, just checking. This game gets a 9 out of 10 in this category for a phenomenal job done on sound design. There's a few subtle tweaks I would make, but boy is it skating that line for perfect sound design. As Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a story-driven game, it's hard to say if it's a game I would find myself returning to often, especially once I've completed it fully. For myself, I rarely return to long-form story-driven games that are very linear, but on occasion, some games manage to capture my heart in ways that others only wish they could. And some games like Life is Strange are just so good story-wise that I need to replay them. That said, I really want them to release a hotfix for the game so my computer doesn't burst into flames every time I load this game up, because it's really well made and I really want to finish the story. Only time will tell if this is a classic, but for now, I wait for the devs. This game gets a 7 out of 10 in this category for keeping alive my passion for a franchise that should have ended 30 years ago. Okay, I am biased. I love Indiana Jones. The mystery, the adventure, the history. It was such a phenomenal movie series that I grew up with, and I really can't picture anyone but Harrison Ford in that role. No question about it. With that said, I want to look at this game through an objective lens. I think there is definitely room for improvement here, but most of it comes down to graphical fixes and optimization. But there's hope, since both of those can come through free patches in the coming weeks or month. And now, back to the bias. Just take a listen. My childhood, my nostalgia. I have to show some love, and for anyone that loves the franchise, I think I can speak to Bethesda on our behalf. Todd Howard, thank you. You did right by us. And if you want a perfect score, fix the game. Make it playable on a half-decent machine, and this game might just go down as one of, if not the best game of 2024, maybe the 2020s. But who knows? There's half a decade left for other contenders. This game gets an 8 out of 10 in this category for making me giggle when... This was a tough game to review. On one hand, I absolutely adore the Indiana Jones franchise, and I feel that this game does justice to Indy's character, the world that he finds himself in, and to the fans by nodding at the best parts of what made Indiana Jones such an iconic character. On the other hand, it felt a bit clunky in places, which I could generally forgive, but the sheer unplayability at launch made it very hard to review. I should not have to shell out $6,000 for a new PC to play a $70 game, and my fairly new hardware should be more than capable of handling this. So to see this title locked off to the peasantry who have towers built in 2019 or earlier feels extremely sour and rather Grinchy of you. So close to the holidays, Bethesda. Even so, I see the road to redemption laid out ahead of you. You know what you have to do. Now understand that you have the strength to do it. The structure of the game is good. The optimization is bad. Now fix it. Thanks! Our summary of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle gives it a total score of 7.2 out of 10. And while I might wait to buy it until the optimization issues are resolved, it is an exciting game overall, and I would recommend it to anyone with a good PC who likes the Indiana Jones franchise. Make sure to check out our channel for other game-related content and more reviews in the future. Do you like what we got? Maybe you disagree with the rating, or maybe you just want to suggest another title for us to review. Drop a comment down below and we'll be happy to look into your request. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to Velvet Games for more content. Whatever you do, we want to thank you for watching, and as always, stay awesome.